Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. Been having some agents call me up and complaining that their business is not getting issued as requested. So what I did last week to determine to do this call is that I went through the two agents I was on the phone with to find out exactly either what they were doing wrong or what the client is doing wrong. We've got no idea with what the client's telling us, whether it's true or false. So what we've got to do to make sure before we put the client with a carrier or to start jibber jabbering about what it's going to cost or the benefits of how great this company is, you need to make sure you ask them the health questions. And what I've come to find out over the years when I go out is that when I hand a client an application to look at with me and tell them these are the questions that we're going to be going over, and they're going to ask you these questions, you need to make sure you know the questions. You need to make sure you answer them honestly, because the way it works with these programs is that when you say the truth, your family will get the benefit of the money. Because what ends up happening is that a client's going to tell you they're in great health. Happened to an agent last week. Joe, she says she was in great health, so I just kind of skimmed through the health questions. I said, did you ask about her medications? No, I did not. I said, okay. I said, we've had these calls before. The only way for you to underwrite somebody properly is to ask them all the questions. What medications have you been on in the last 3 years, whether you're taking them or not, whether you quit taking them or you're still taking them, because all that is still in your prescription history that the insurance company is going to use when they determine what program they're going to give you. What ends up happening is that clients feel that if they don't tell you the whole truth, the insurance company's not going to find out. So in your little pitch with them, you need to let them know that the insurance company knows more about us than we know about ourselves. To hopefully, it's a little bit of a scare tactic to tell them to tell you the right answers. Because when you decide you want to make a shortcut or you want to deviate or you want to rush to the application because you got somebody waiting for you or you think you've got them buying signals they want to buy, when you skip these steps, either you're going to get a decline or you're going to get something offered to you other than what you have requested, which is normally immediate benefits. Do clients always tell you the truth? Not all the time, okay? Sometimes they forget. Sometimes they need your help to extract that information from upstairs. Here's a good example. You can ask a client, have you had a heart attack in the last 3 years? Now, Mutual Omaha is a 4-year look back. Foresters, Liberty Banker, Prosperity, 2-year look back, 3-year look back on cancer. Rural Neighbors is only 2. These are just some of the carriers we've got. So when you ask a client about cancer, it's not when they're diagnosed with it, it's when they finished up. Either they had their prostate removed, something was done to complete the process. The chemo was through, whatever processes they were going through. It's got to be 3 years from that final date that the doctor says you're clean. Not 2 years and 8 months. It's 36 months. They got to be given the clean bill of health to put with a carrier that says, have you had cancer in the last 3 years? Now, to a heart attack, you're going to have that forever. You're going to have some type of heart disease forever. So their question is, have you had a heart attack in the last 2 years? Well, we got 1 year with CVS. You got 2 years with most carriers, and some carriers with 3-year look back. So when you had the heart attack, let's say you had a heart attack July 1st of 2022. common sense, you know, that's been 1 year. So you've got very few carriers to pick from. You can go with Transamerica, you can go with CVS. If you ask them, when did you have your heart attack? If they say July 1st of 2021, now you can go to a 2-year company. The difference between cancer is that they want to know when it was over, when it was finished. When it comes to a heart attack, they want to know when was the date that you had it. As long as it's 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, depending on the company you want to put them with, that's how you got to answer the question. There's something that we have that every carrier uses. This is another issue I had with an agent. He was fuming. This happened last week, and it probably happened about 4 or 5 months ago. I feel bad asking them, Joe, how much they weigh. I just feel kind of uncomfortable asking them. Well, if you feel uncomfortable asking a client their weight, Rural Neighbors has no height weight chart. CVS has no height weight chart. Joe, but the other carriers are cheaper, but I don't feel like asking them their height weight chart. What are you going to write down? Are you just going to pick a number out of your head just to write down because you're embarrassed to ask them? He said, Joe, I felt kind of bad, but I finally asked him what it was. And I remember from another app I wrote that his height weight was in check. So I did not check with that particular carrier for this client. And I said, why? Well, I thought they were within the range. Well, it wasn't. So he got popped from an immediate to a graded because of their weight. You must do the proper underwriting to put the client with the right carrier first. Because what's going to happen is this here. You're going to rush. You're not going to take your time. You're going to deviate. And you're going to want to go from A to Z and skip all the letters in between. And you're going to tell the client, okay, I'm going to put you with an example. Royal Neighbors. They give you this, this, and this. They have all these member benefits. So you're going to qualify for it. You're going to get a free will. And since I'm going to put your wife with Foresters, she's also going to get these same benefits. Okay. And you tell them price. For you, Mr. You had it written down real big and pretty. For you, Mr. Jones, for $10,000, it's going to cost you $87.14. And with your wife with Foresters, AMM, Prosperity, whoever you put them with, because they don't qualify for Rural Neighbors, it's going to cost your wife $77 and change. You're all excited. The client circles the ones they want. You sit back and you're going, boy, howdy. You're smoking your cigarette in the house and you're just looking at all that money going into your account because you got them to pick one out. Well, unbeknownst to you, since you did not dig into the medication they were on, and since you didn't dig into when they say they had a stroke and did not ask the medication, or they had cancer, yet you didn't ask them about the cancer maintenance medication they're on, you decided to go with Rural Neighbors. And Rural Neighbors does not like cancer maintenance medication. They don't like it. So what happened? He wrote the husband and wife, got all excited. He got a decline at Rural Neighbors, and he put the other client with Prosperity, and it was issued. Now, when you rush to do an application, what you're doing is that you're possibly hurting yourself by not digging far enough. When the height weight says 6 foot, 319 pounds for 6 foot tall, and you do not look at the height weight chart, and you put 6 foot, 322, they're over the limit. And you can't tell me, well, Joe's only 1 pound, Joe's only 3 pounds. They have rules, they've got guidelines. All of this stuff is available to you because a carrier sent it to you, and also you have it in the back office with us. We've got a separate area for just height weight with all the carriers. Use the stuff that we give you. Use the stuff that home office gives you. Use the toll-free number you can call for home office support to talk to another manager. You can call me. Say, Joe, I'm in the house with this client here. I know we've kind of come out with these new products, and I want to make sure I'm getting the client the best possible deal out there because they're on a budget. You look like a hero to that client. You're reaching to somebody with higher authority who's going to give you the best answer for them and knows that they're on a budget. I'm going to save them money. What I'm doing is that I'm sometimes saving you from yourself because you're going to want to go with that carrier because you're more comfortable with it. And then you get upset with the carrier or the lead because you either got a decline or a written immediate and got a graded or modified because you did not want to check how the client is. Joe, it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm out there, I've got all these different carriers and it's just overwhelming. Well, give the office a call today. Heather or Jay will send you the link that Equita has that they've contracted with, where you're going to be able to go into and put all these people's underwriting stuff. Heart attack 4 years ago, stroke 6 months ago, TIA 11 months ago. They're on allopurinol, they're on this, they're on that, they're on these medications here, their height and weight is this here. They've got a company that we've teamed up with that you plug in the information, and 99 out of 100 times it's going to come back correct. Joe, it just costs too much. Why can't I go with this company here where it's less expensive? What you guys have got to think about is that the client does not see all your cheat sheets, all your prices. They don't see the prices. You're the only one that sees the price. Well, Joe, the price is kind of high. They're going to get a charge back. Guys, let me tell you something. If you sell that product properly and let them know that they got the best deal available, you're going to be there for them when something happens. You've got a slim chance. They may flip to go somebody else. I can't tell you they won't. Yet, you cannot always go with the cheapest company because you feel they're going to flip it, because you have no idea if the cheap company is going to accept it. Most of the time, the less expensive a carrier is, the harder the underwriting is. Very simple. We got a company called Life Shield. They're great, inexpensive. We got Sentinel, great, inexpensive. Yet they got tougher questions. So it all depends on what you want to do. Plug the information in to this underwriting program. It's going to tell you exactly who to go with. Some companies we have do not have Social Security billing. You may get it approved, but the first payment may not come out on the date that you specified. How do I find that out? It's in the back office. When you go to this underwriting guideline, they tell you with a star if that company does Social Security billing. Think about this. How long will it take you to ask the client all the questions? That may take you, let's say, 3 minutes more, because the way I do it, I'm going to tell them, listen, I'm going to go down these list of questions with you. Once you look at them, I'm just going to keep on going. When something pops up that's a yes, let me know. If it's a no, just let me keep on going. So there's no need for you to ask them one whole sentence and say yes or no. Okay. I kind of streamline it to where I'm making sure I mention every single thing. Now, when I get to the bottom of the application, they may say in the last 2 years, the last 3 years, and then I'm mentioning that within the thing. Heart attack, 2 years, stroke, cancer, TIA, 2 years, cancer, boom, 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 3 years. So I may say the years more. But up top is normally, have you ever had congestive heart failure? Have you ever had a diabetic home? Are you currently, or within the last 6 months, use oxygen? Oxygen's a very simple one. If they have it in their house, they're oxygen users. It does not matter if they use it only when needed. Doesn't matter if they use it at nighttime when they sleep. If oxygen is in their house, that's called durable medical equipment. is going to show up in their medical records. And if it happens not to show up in their medical records when you're doing the application, if that client dies within the first 2 years, that policy's kicked, it's rescinded, you got to pay your commission back. Well, Joe, that guaranteed issue is kind of expensive. What about if I, you guys work for yourselves. You're in business to make money. My job is to help you make more money. My job is to guide you and coach you to explain to you the benefits of asking the health questions. Because when you're there and you tell the client they can have a certain carrier, and for simplicity, it's going to cost $51 a month, and they say, that's the one I want. Then it comes back that they can't have that 51, and it's going to be $59.18. Now they're saying, I got to think about it. I'm not sure what I want to do now. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my kids. Because what happened is that you showed them the apple pie with the ice cream. They were excited about it. They hadn't had that in a while. What you gave them was great. Now what you've given them is something higher than what you discussed. Now they've lost a little bit of trust in you. Joe, I was in a hurry, had an appointment to go to. I had an argument with my daughter. That's all fine, guys. It's all part of life. Yet what we've got to do is that when we leave our house, I can't say you're not going to talk about an issue you have. But when you leave out of your house, you got to start preparing your brain for a client. When you walk through that client's front door, side door, garage door, back door, you walk into the place that you're going to be doing business. It's called showtime. You're not going to sit and say, well, it's showtime. You got to be on your A game. And instead of you trying to memorize every application, bring the application out. Let them see that you're going down this application. Having your cheat sheets either on your computer or on paper, as I do, all the height weight charts. So when you are going down the list with them, I've got to ask you some questions. I need to ask your date of birth, you're a U.S. citizen, your height, weight, the medications, some personal health information that's between you and I. Ask them all the questions, guys. When you ask them all the questions, now you have all the answers. Now it's your job to pick out what carrier is best for your client. Okay, guys, I'll let you go. If you want the underwriting link, call the office, get with Jay, send him a text message, smoke signals. He'll send it to you. Get a 15% discount offered by home office. We love you. We appreciate it. Make it a great day. Hit them hard, guys. Bye-bye.